Pranamami Haripriyavancha Kalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhubevacha Aditana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhudale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swamini Dinamini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prajarini Vishesha Shunyavadi Pashati Deshtarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. By the way, like last module, Gayatri Mataji and Gurashri Mataji have written, right? Okay, I'll share the marks later. I've shared with the other batch. Your module 1. Anyway, okay, so the universal form continuing. 11.15. So 11.15 to 31 is about Arjuna's experience of seeing the universal form, and 32 to 34 is Krishna's reply to Arjuna's question, like time I am become my instrument and all that. So Arjuna's experience of seeing the universal form is being explained here. Arjuna uvaja pashyami devams tava devatehe sarvams tadha bhuda vishesha sangan brahmanam isham kamalasanastam rishimscha sarvan uragamscha divyan. Arjuna said, my dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled in your body all the demigods, various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower, as well as Lord Shiva, now all the sages and divine serpents. Okay, so this is what he saw, all the demigods, because Krishna says, Aham Adirhi Devanam, that he is the source of all the demigods. So Arjuna started seeing in one place, this is the universal form, and Vishwarupa. Along with that, the Kala Rupa was also there. So this is what Arjuna saw. So Arjuna saw everything in the universe. He sees Brahma, who's the first creature of the universe. He sees Garbhodakshay Vishnu lying, and the snake bird called Vasuki. Also, Arjuna also saw the Garbhodakshay Vishnu lying, and the topmost part of the universe on the lotus flower, this Brahma, the first created being. So that means from the beginning to the end, everything he could see, right? So by Arjuna, who was sitting in one place on this chariot, this was possible by the grace of the Supreme Lord Krishna. So otherwise, it's not possible for Arjuna to see. So this is what Arjuna saw. Now here it is said, okay, Brahma, he saw Brahma, even he saw Lord Shiva. Okay, so in one place of Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Narayana Rudra Jayade, like from Narayana, Lord Shiva came. Also, there's one more saying, no, how Lord Shiva came, appeared. Does anyone know from where he came? Yes.
Between the eyebrows, Mataji.
Of whom? Yes, you're right. From whom?
Brahma.
Brahma. So actually, Lord Shiva came from whom? Narayana or Brahma?
Brahma.
Lord Shiva came from Brahma.
Mataji.
But Krishna says, Aham Adirhi Devana. This is the source of all demigods. Okay, so from the 3rd canto. 3rd canto, 12th chapter, 7th sloka. 3:12. So there it is mentioned, just for a pastime purpose, how Varahadev came from the nostrils of Brahma. Can Varahadev come from the nostrils of Brahma? Because Brahma was created from Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and he is Narayan Swayam, Bhagavan, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Can he come in when Keshavadrida Shukara Rupa, when he came as Varahadev, the boar incarnation, can he come from the nostrils of Brahma? No. Brahma is the secondary creator, in the sense the Lord created Brahma, and can the Lord come from Brahma? No. Just for the pastime purpose, the Lord came from the nostrils of Brahma. Similarly, for the pastime purpose, when Brahma was so angry, from between the eyebrows, from the forehead, Rudra came, Shiva came. That's just for a pastime purpose. But actually, he came from Narayan. So Narayana Rudro Jayade, it is said. But then Arjuna saw all the demigods in that form. Because when Krishna says, Aham Adirhi Devan, that was theory. That was theory. Now it's practically demonstrating. Why, by the way, why did Krishna show the universal form? What are the 3 reasons why Krishna showed the universal form to Arjuna?
To set a criteria and
To set a criteria in future, yes. Then
For the common man to
Arjuna-
for the
understand.
common man to understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality, yes.
Arjuna requested Krishna.
Arjuna requested, yes, that should be your first reason. Arjuna requested to see that particular form and to set a criteria in future so that so-called human God will come in the future. And Arjuna didn't want to make that happen. Third is to prove how great Krishna is, or to prove the common people that Krishna is not just an ordinary person. Any other reason? So these are the reasons why Krishna showed the universal form to Arjuna. Anega bandhura vaktra netram pashyami tvam sarvado anantarupam nantam na madhyam na punastavadim pashyami vishveshwara vishwarupam. O Lord of the universe, O universal form, I see in your body many, many arms, bellies, mouths and eyes, expanded everywhere without limit. I see in you no end, no middle, no beginning. So he saw Krishna. Yes, Suma Mataji. Oops.
Hare Krishna Mataji. And
Yes.
also to show the devotees, no Mataji, like they are more attracted to the Shyamasundara form of the Lord.
Yeah, but universal form, why devotees don't want to see now? The question is why Krishna showed the universal form. He is already in the two-handed form. Now devotees like to see that form, the two-handed form. Devotees didn't request. It's not for the devotees. It's for non-devotees. You can put it like it's for the non-devotees or atheistic people. Like, because atheist, they'll say what your God is and you worship demigods, that, this, no, they say all that. But then here Krishna is proving that if demigods are part and parcel of Krishna. Okay, there is a Mridabhakshan Leela, no, where Krishna ate mud. It's out of box. So when Krishna ate mud, the reasons what Acharya says why Krishna ate mud is because all the demigods, they wanted to taste the Raj. When you go to Vrindavan, you're supposed to roll over the dust of Vrindavan. You can take some dust and put it on the top. What you do Harinam Sankirtan in Mayapur, you eat, honor Krishna Prasadam in Jagannath Puri, the same effect you get by rolling on the dust of Raja, because Krishna walked with his bare feet and it is said his footprints are still there. So especially when people go to Gokul and the Uluk Bandhan Leela, where Krishna was tied up, and the Mridabhakshan Leela, those areas, they take the Raj, in the sense the mud, and eat. Because Krishna have tasted it. So the demigods also wanted to taste that mud. So if Krishna start giving the dust of Vrindavan to all the demigods, Panchamukha Shiva have 5 heads. And Shanmukha has 6 heads, no? And like that. So Brahma have 4. So if he has to give all the demigods, all these Raj, there is 33 crores of demigods, it is said. We don't know all of them, but then all of them will start taking Raj. So Krishna thought, why to give so much dust to everyone? Anyway, all the demigods are in my body, no? So Krishna started eating so that all the demigods get satisfied with the dust and the mud. And also it is said, if you tell a lot of lies, to as a prayaschitta for that, you can just take some mud and eat. So Krishna, these are all the Acharya's commentaries. So one of the reason is because all the demigods rest in Krishna's body, or in the sense Krishna is the source of all the demigods. So here Arjuna saw many arms, bellies, mouths, eyes without any limits. There's no end, no beginning, no end. In the sense he could not count from where it started. He could not, that much, so much, millions were there. Krishna, it could not be explained. Kiridinam Gandhinam Chakrinam Cha Tejo Rasim Sarvato Deeptimantam Pashyami Tvam Durnirikshyam Samandar Deepta Analarka Duitam Aprameyam. Your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence. So what so it's compared to rising of 1,000 suns spreading on all sides like blazing fire or the immeasurable radiance of the sun. Yet I see this glow from form everywhere, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs. So this is how Arjuna saw that form. And Arjuna speaks his realization of the universal form. Arjuna finds Krishna's universal form very difficult to see. This glowing form, it's Tejo Rasim, so much effulgence was coming, adorned with crowns, clubs, and discs. That's the Brahmajyoti, 1,000 sun has been risen. That's the universal form which Arjuna saw. Tvam Aksharam Paramam Veditavyam Tvam Asya Vishwasya Param Nidanam Tvam Avyaya Shashvata Dharma Gopta Sanathanas Tvam Purusho Mato Me. You're the supreme primal objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all of this universe. Invincible, and you are the oldest. You're the maintainer of the eternal religion, the personality of Godhead. This is my opinion. So Arjuna attempts to describe it as immeasurable. Krishna is immeasurable. You can't even, that's why when Yashodamaya wanted to tie Krishna, she could not bind. Why? Krishna is unlimited. You can't tie him with a rope. There's another meaning. Another thing is, it's Krishna's mercy needed, no? So as to bind Krishna with love, only with the rope of love can you bind Krishna. So he is the supreme primal object, his ultimate resting place of the whole universe. Okay. The universe is resting on what? Oh, somebody asked. It is said Vasuki, Suma Mataji. Yeah, it's Adishesha, but sometimes called as Vasuki. So it's Ananta Shesh only. But Krishna says, no, on all the snakes I am Vasuki in one of the opulences. Yes, where is this universe resting actually? Our universe. Where is it resting? Where is it resting?
Sheshnath.
Shesh, yeah, Ananta Shesh, very good. It's on the head of Ananta Shesh, right? They said that the whole universe is held by the hooves of Ananta Shesh. Abdomen, yes, the Garbhadakshay Vishnu, then from the navel of Garbhadakshay Vishnu, the lotus came and Brahma, and all the planetary system are in that stem. That's just a creation, how the planetary system, but actually it is resting. So the Lord himself, Mataji is right, in the abdomen of the Lord, but the Lord himself is resting on Ananta Shesh, no? So in that way, it is said, Prabhupada mentions that the whole universe is held by Ananta Shesh. So if something bad happens, we pray to the Lord, we pray to Ananta Shesh. When Prabhupada had this Juhu temple constructed, there was a lot of problem happening. So during the Shila Stapa, like while putting the stone, a building stone, first stone, laying the first stone, Prabhupada put Ananta Shesh. And Prabhupada said, now the building is proper. Yeah, it is also mentioned is all the different limbs of the Lord. Yes, that's because everything rests on the Lord. Sutre Manigana Iva, like the pearl strung on the thread. Anadi Madhyantam Ananta Viryam Ananta Bahum Shashi Surya Netram Pashyami Tvam Deepta Hudastavatram Swatejasa Vishwam Itam Tapantam. You are without origin, middle, or end. Your glory is unlimited. You have numberless arms. The sun and the moon are your eyes. I see you with blazing fire coming forth from your mouth, burning this entire universe by your own radiance. From the purport, it says here, in many other places there is repetition, but according to the scriptures, repetition of glories of Krishna is not a literary weakness. So much time it is right, Anadi, Ananta, Ananta, so many times it is repeated again and again. Why? It's just to show how Krishna is glorified. It's just to glorify Krishna. That's why it is repeated over and again and again. Dvai aprithivyor idam anantaram hi vyaptam Vayekena dishascha sarva drashva bhutam rupam ugram tadevim logat pravyatitam mahatman. The universal form is spread throughout the skies, the planets, and all the space in between. Seeing this astonishing and ferocious form, all the three worlds are perturbed. So it says the space between heaven and earth. Logatraya means three world. What are this three world? And there are 14 planetary system now. Why? But why is it said three world? What are the three world? Yes, what are the three world what Krishna is talking about?
Is it upper, middle, and lower, Mataji?
Yeah, very nice. So what are the upper planetary system? Swargalok, all the heavenly planets, right?
Bhuloka,
Swargaloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka.
All that, yes. So upper, lower, and middle planetary system. Upper planetary system is all the heavenly planets, right? Satyalok, Tapalok, Maharlok, Janalok, all that. And then Atala, Sutala, Vitala, Rasatala, Patala, all that is lower planetary system. And the middle is Earth. Yes, so the middle planetary system is Earth. Okay. So these are the three world, it is said. Okay. And also it is indicating that not only Arjuna saw all the planetary system. So here it is mentioned, the purport Prabhupada mentioned, even the demigods have seen. Not only Arjuna saw the universal form, but other planetary systems, they also got the divine vision to see this particular form. This proves that Arjuna was seeing, not a dream. This is a question from Bhakti Shastri. That how do you say that Arjuna was not dreaming? that he is actually seeing. See here, you can see here group activity 10 minutes. So discuss the evidence that Arjuna was actually seeing the form and was not dreaming. What is the evidence? Evidence is that even the other world demigods have seen. If it was a dream, only Arjuna could see the dream, no? Can two people see the same dream? Possible, but not many can see the same dream, no, right? So Arjuna was not dreaming. It is actually Arjuna was seeing the universal form. Why? Because it shows the other planetary system also they could see. Prabhupada mentions here in the purport you can see not only Arjuna but others in the planetary system also saw this particular form. Amihitvam surasanga vishanti kechit bida pranjalayo grinanti swastiti uktva maharshishit siddha sangha stuvanditvam studbi tushkalabhi. So here it is said, all the hosts, the demigods surrendering before you and entering into you. Okay, he saw all that. And then prayers by the demigods. So the demigods started praying. They are offering prayer. The demigods are surrendering and praying with folded hands. Great sages are praying with Vedic hymns. And Lord Shiva, Aditya, Vasus are all beholding the universal form in wonder. So they also saw the beautiful form of the Lord. So Lord Shiva, Adityas, Vasus. So it was not just a dream. Okay. And yes, here it is said, Rudra, Aditya, Vasuvo, Yecha, Sadhya. So Rudra, Lord Shiva, Aditya, Vasus, Sadhyas, all of them, Ashvis, Marutus, forefathers, Gandharvas, Yakshas, all are beholding him in wonder. Means they also saw that particular form of the Lord. And 23-25, again it is mentioned about the different form. Rupam Mahate, Bahuvaktra Netram, Mahabaho Bahu, Bahurupadam, Bahudaram, Bahudam, Shrakaralam, Rishtva Pravyatitas Tataham. So what did he see? Almighty and all the planets with the other demigods are disturbed at seeing this great form, because demigods are also devotees, no? They don't want to see this form. It's very fiery form, and you can't have a rasa or relationship with that universal form with many faces, eyes, arms, and legs and bellies. You may terrible teeth, and they are disturbed. So Krishna is also disturbed by this form, and he tells Krishna, Arjuna is disturbed, and he tells Krishna, I don't want to see this form anymore. So Arjuna experienced a terrible, fearsome sight. He now expresses his pitiful state so that the Lord would withdraw this ferocious universal form. Sometimes the example given is a father might act like putting some mask or something and just to play with the child. But later on, as playing, the child might get scared, no? And then he removes the mask and comes. I remember there was a drama for kids and they were practicing. I think it was very famous in Karnataka. Like one boy was acting as Prahlad. Did anyone see? One was Hiranyakeshipu. And then suddenly when Narasimhadev came, yes, Uma Mataji saw, when Narasimhadev came, Prahlad was not crying. Who was acting as Hiranyakeshipu, that boy, he started crying. Amma, he was crying because he saw that ferocious form. During practice, they didn't show that form, but then on the stage, it was some performance happening. And the boy who acted as Hiranyakeshipu was very brave, saying a lot of dialogues. He was very nice. But when Narasimhadev came, he got scared. So, but then what happens? When the child gets scared, the father removes the mask. Because so similarly, Krishna showed the universal form, not for Arjuna, for the atheistic people outside, the common people, to set a criteria. And Arjuna asked for it, actually. Arjuna asked for that form, but now he's like, I don't want to see this form. So this is so ferocious universal form. Okay. And then in 26-30, Arjuna sees in the universal form the future outcome of the war. Now this is and a very important Bhakti Shastri question. So what does Arjuna see in that form, or what is the clue for Arjuna about the outcome of the battle? Ami chatvam dhritarashtrasya putra sarve sahaivavani sange bhishmo drona sudaputra tataso sahasmadye api yodha mukhe vaktrani te tva ramana visanti Damshra Karalani Bayanakani Kechit Vilagna Dashanantareshu Sadrishyante Churnite Utmanage. All the sons of Dhritarashtra, okay, all of them. along with their 8 kings, Bhishma, Drona, Karna. Bhishmacharya and Dronacharya was also going. And our chief soldiers also are rushing into the fearful mouth of Krishna. And some I see trapped with heads smashed between your teeth. Now, what does this prove? Can anyone raise your digital hand and say, what does this prove that everyone was going inside Krishna's mouth? I think we discussed. Yes, Soma Mataji.
Ultimately, they are, however, going to die, Mataji, in the battle.
Yeah.
So,
So
that is shown by Lord Krishna.
yeah,
Before
Krishna
the battle itself, they are
yeah, they're
going
going
to
to
meet the
die.
king.
So that is one indication. Yes, Chitra Mataji, anything else Krishna wants to say to Arjuna?
Pandavas are going to win the battle, Mataji.
Yeah, and so indirectly saying that they are going to win and the Dhritarashtra's sons are going to lose, they're going to die. But why Krishna is killing them? Why Krishna is yes, someone else? All are sleeping today. Nice climate, it's raining. And Dwadashi effect, no, during Ekadashi, after the Ekadashi, there'll be a little bit of that tiredness and sleep and all remaining on Dwadashi day. Yes, Sunita Mataji.
Actually, he wants Arjuna to be just instrument, Mataji.
Yes, so he's telling Arjuna, you're not killing. Arjuna is now not fighting, no. This Bhagavad Gita so that Arjuna fights. So he's saying that you're just an instrument. You're not doing it like a child sitting in front of the father. Child is not driving. So like Arjuna, you're just an instrument. I am doing it and I have already done it. You're just an instrument. And then Krishna is actually killing them to give liberation. If the Kauravas, I have some network issue. Okay, if the Kauravas die at home, they'll never get liberated. That's also one thing. And somebody asked another question, why Krishna didn't kill the Pandavas? Why Krishna
Mataji,
spared?
to show the world, Mataji, that Dharma will
Dharma wins. Yes, Madhuri
be saved.
Mataji. I can't hear you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Ganesham Prabhu.
Yes, it is said, no, see, to protect the pious and to annihilate the impious, Krishna is performing it, no? So he is naturally protecting the people who are, so that is the reason, main reason which has been, which is evident and clear. Krishna has to protect, so he's protecting the Pandavas and yeah.
To protect the devotees, good. Yes, Gayatri Mataji. Actually, why is Krishna killing all the Kauravas? It's related to that. So actually, yes, Gayatri Mataji, I can't hear you.
Krishna wanted Yudhishthira to rule the kingdom, no, Mataji?
Krishna wanted Yudhishthira to win.
Yeah. He wanted him to rule the kingdom.
Yeah, so Name Bhakta Pranashati, okay. Pandavas were born to establish Dharma, they were fighting for Dharma. Yes, Chinnaswami Ganeshan Prabhu. That's fine, but
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pandavas, like, they were already on the side of Dharma, and they are like, they were already eternal associates, so they were already liberated.
who said that answer?
Smita Mataji.
Haribol. Yeah, that was the answer. Okay, so that is the actual answer. You got it from Santosh Prabhu?
Yeah, he told me that he asked a doubt to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Okay. So they were already liberated, as Mataji said. they are already liberated souls. Like Krishna killed the Kauravas so that they get liberation, right? But who was Arjuna? Who was Arjuna? Arjuna was?
Vishaka Sakin.
Yeah. He's already liberated. No, Arjuna and the Pandavas are already liberated. So somebody who's already liberated, why you should kill that person? Sorry for that. Yes, so they were already liberated, and then, but then why did Krishna? Everyone know now how the Yadu dynasty, except Smita Mataji, anyone, all others can answer. The Yadu dynasty at the end, does anyone remember? Krishna killed all of them. Why? He didn't kill in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and now the Yadu, all the grandsons and everyone got died. No, the whole Yadu dynasty.
Kunti gave him a curse.
Yes, Prabhu.
Kunti, I think not Kunti.
Gandhari had cursed Mataji.
That had cursed him, no?
Curse will not affect Krishna. That's
So-
just a pastime.
To wind up the pastime.
To
and he
wind up the
wanted to
pastime.
yeah.
Yes, Sharmila Mataji. Yeah, he wanted to.
wind up the pastime and go back.
Yeah, he wanted to take them. See, when you go for a trip, okay, you go to a trip, you take your family and go to the trip somewhere. Then once the trip is over, you have to take them back, no? The whole family. Otherwise, your family half will be there, half will be here. You have to take everyone and go back so as you can continue your life. So similarly, Krishna came down in this material world, appeared to do his pastime. He brought all his associates. Now, when he is about to wind up, or the Dwapar Yuga is about to end, and next pastime has to happen, and then Krishna has to take the whole family back. So Gandhari cursing, this all external. Can curse affect Krishna? He's the supreme personality of Godhead. And Dwaraka venting inside the ocean, all that is external things. But the real reason why Krishna did that is so that to take all the associates back home, back to Godhead. So here it is mentioned that in the previous verse, the Lord promised to show Arjuna things he would be very interesting in seeing. Now Arjuna sees that the leaders of the opposite party, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, all the sons of Dhritarashtra, all the soldiers, Arjuna's own soldiers are all being annihilated. This is an indication that after the death of nearly all the persons assembled at Kurukshetra, Arjuna will become victorious. So this is one of the signs. Krishna is showing that everybody is going inside his mouth, that he is showing that Arjuna is going to win the battle. Second is, it's also mentioned here, Bhishma, who is supposed to be unconquerable, will also be smashed. So also Karna, not only with great warriors of other parties like Bhishma be smashed, but some of the great warriors of Arjuna's side, they are getting liberation. The two analogies is that indicate Arjuna could see his awaited victories as many waves of a river flow into the ocean, as moth dash to destruction in the blazing fire. So you've seen, especially now, no, rainy season, some light is glowing, all these flies will come and they'll die. No, like that, they were entering into Krishna's mouth. That's one of the analogy. Analogy means the comparison that's given. And also, so many rivers will flow to the ocean. Similarly, all the people were going inside Krishna's mouth. So this is what Arjuna saw. Okay, this is indication that Arjuna is going to win. Second is that Arjuna is just an instrument. Arjuna, you are telling that I can't fight because of compassion, sin, no enjoyment, all the reasons what Arjuna said. Krishna is like, nothing is going to work. I am going to kill them. I have already planned them. You're just an instrument. I'm already going to kill. This is Krishna's plan. It has to work. Sometimes, no, in our life, like we don't have to do anything. Krishna will plan. We just have to be an instrument there. We think we are doing. It's actually he is planning everything, right? We plan. Prabhupada says the plan and the planner both will get destroyed as time goes. So better we go with Krishna's plan. Then life is beautiful. Okay, so 30th sloka says, Lelihyasye drasamana samantal lokan samagran vadaner jwalabhi tejobira purya jagat samagram Bhashastavogra pratapanti Vishnu. Oh Vishnu, I see you're devouring all people from all sides into your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You manifest with terrible scorching rays. So that's the Kala Rupa of Krishna. Kala means it destroys everything. Kala, time factor destroys everything except the pure devotees. Name Bhakta Pranashyati, as you say. So Krishna as Kala Rupa, even if when he comes as Kala Rupa, he doesn't destroy the eternal associates like Arjuna, right? So in eternal associates, Arjuna is Vishaka Sakhi. Who's Bhima? Who was Bhima? Does anyone know?
Vayudeva. Vayudeva.
Vayudeva. He came as who else? He came as
Tukaram in Kali Yuga.
Hmm?
Tukaram as in Kali Yuga.
Tukaram. Okay. Before that, he came as
Hanuman.
Hanuman in Treta Yuga. Good. Then he came as in Kali Yuga, one more person. He came as one more personality, famous personality of Udupi.
Madhvacharya.
Madhvacharya. So he was Vayudev. He himself came as Bhima. He came as Hanuman. He also came as Madhvacharya. So all three are the same. Okay, so that's so powerful he is. Hanuman is a great devotee of the Lord. Madhvacharya is already liberated soul. So Bhima is so powerful. And does someone has to destroy them? Liberate them? They already liberated. No, Arjuna is already liberated. So except the Pandavas, because they can just go back like that. Some people say, oh, the Pandavas, they went to Swarga, heavenly. They don't have to go to heavenly planets. They can directly go to Krishna's world, Goloka. So Arjuna is in great fear. He asked two questions. Who are you and what is your mission? By seeing that Kala Rupa, he asked this, right? So two questions he's asking is, who are you and what is your mission? Why Arjuna is asking this question? Because although Arjuna knew Krishna as his friend and as the Supreme Personality of God, he was puzzled by the various forms exhibited by Krishna. That's what it is said. And then the Lord replies, 32 sloka. Shri Bhagavanu Vaja Kalosmi Loga Shayakrit Pravriddho Logans Samahartum Iha Pravritta Rite Apitvam Na Bhavishyanti Sarve Ye Avastitha Pratyanikeshu Yodha. The Supreme Personality said, time I Kalosmi. Kalos means Krishna is time. Sometimes we say we don't have time, but Krishna himself is the time. Before, did you ever imagine that 2 hours you can sit and chant Hare Krishna? Can you spare 2 hours? Some of you are working mothers, you have 2 kids and you have your job, you have family, everything to take care. Did you ever think you can chant 16 rounds, like 2 hours? No. But how did it happen? Krishna's time, he'll start expanding devotees' time. But we need determination. We should if you think oh, I don't have to chant 16, and then Krishna will shorten the time. But the more you give time to Krishna, the more you get time, right? So everyone have 24 hours, but it's how we prioritize things. So it's very important it's because Krishna is time. He says, time I am, the great destroyer of the world. What does time do? It destroys everything. Okay. And I have come here to destroy all people, with the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers here in both the sides will be slain. And also to prove why Krishna didn't destroy Pandavas, to prove that my devotees will never get destroyed, because Krishna came to protect the devotees, Paritranaya Sadhuna, to show dharma wins. Yes, these are all another reason why Krishna is not destroying the Pandavas. And they are already liberated. Okay, so it is said in Bhagavatam that by rising and setting of the sun, the time of a non-devotee, they are wasting the time. But for a devotee, rising and setting of the sun doesn't take his life. Why? Because he's eternally going to live, right? If we say, for example, Srila Prabhupada, he's not gone anywhere. He's eternally living through his instructions in his books. We're all studying his books. So he's always there through his Vani. So that's what, so the great souls, they continue to live. So as a practical application, as the super soul, Lord Krishna control all cosmic events according to his will. And as time, he's pushing all things towards destruction. Kala destroys everything, destroys. So Krishna answers to Arjuna's question that when Krishna asked Arjuna asked, who are you? He's saying, I'm time, Kala Rupa. That's Kala Rupa. So the universal form had the Vishwarupa and also the Kala Rupa. Kala Rupa means the destruction, where there was fire coming and all the people going inside Krishna's mouth. That's a Kala Rupa. So the vision is to destroy everything, all the people in the world except Pandavas. And this was Krishna's plan. Arjuna wanted to give up fighting and was indecisive, right, initially. But even if Arjuna did not fight, the death of everyone in the battlefield cannot be checked, because it's sure. It was Krishna's plan. Time is destruction, and all the manifestations are to be vanquished by the desire of the Supreme Lord. That's law of nature. So it's Krishna who's planning and then nobody can go against it. But for a pure devotee, it doesn't matter. Right? Because pure devotee is always in Krishna consciousness and already liberated souls. It is said, Iharyasye harirdasye karmana manasa gira nikileshu api avasteshu jivan muktasa uchyate. A person with his body, mind, and words completely into Krishna consciousness is already liberated. The example is, I've quoted so many times, the dry coconut. Now you've seen dry coconut, it is not attached to the shell outside. It is separated, right? But it's within the shell. Similarly, a pure devotee is within this material world, within the material body, but he's already liberated. So liberation doesn't mean after death, crossing Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. No, liberation or moksha. Liberation can be in this body itself. It's called great souls or liberated souls. Okay, so Kalosmi means Krishna is the greatest destroyer, Krishna says. Tasmatvam uttishta yasholapasva jitva shatrun bhungshva rajyam samriddham mayevete nihata purvameva nimitta matram bhava sarvesachin. Very important sloka which says nimitta matram bhava sarvesachin, that we just have to become the instrument. There is 55 slokas. We'll take one more session. Okay. So he's like, everything is done, you just become an instrument. Therefore, get up, prepare to fight and win glory. Conquer your enemies and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement. So Krishna has already done it. Okay, now you or Savyasachin can be an instrument in the fight. What's the meaning of Savyasachin? It's even given here. One who can shoot arrows very expertly, right? What is the incident? Why Krishna Arjuna is called Savyasachin? Which pastime, Prabhu, where he never missed his aim, Arjuna? Yes? Does anyone remember in Arjuna's life where he never missed shooting? Yes, Mataji, Sunita Mat. You can unmute.
Yeah, he's in the Swayamvara, Mataji, Swayamvara of Draupadi.
What was that? Swayamvara, yes. He was shooting.
He shot an arrow to the eye of the bird,
Mataji.
Eye of the bird.
Fish. It was fish eye. Eye of the bird was when Dronacharya said. Yes. So 2 times it happened. That one was when Dronacharya asked everyone, like, can you shoot the bird? Like everyone came and Dronacharya asked, what can you see? They said the tree, the bird, the sky, everything. And finally Arjuna came and Dronacharya asked, what can you see? So Arjuna said, I can see only the eyes of the bird. And he shot into the eye so that it was so sharp. And the second is, as Mata said, the Swayamvara of Draupadi. At that time, there was a fish and he had to look into the water and then aim at to that fish which was rotating into the, so he was so sharp. So it's called Savyasachi, means one who can shoot us very expertly. Nimitta matram bhavesachin. Nimitta matram means that's it, right? We are also actually instruments. Prabhupada, when he went to Jalatuta, that ship, he was writing that Boro Kripa Koile Krishna song, and that he says, I'm a puppet in your hand, Krishna, make me dance as you like. So like that, we are all instruments in Krishna's hands. So we are not actually doing, we are not the doer actually. The super soul is making us do, or we are, the soul is desiring, the three modes is carrying it out, but it's actually Krishna who's actually doing it. We are just an instrument, right? So this is a sign of intelligence to recognize that the whole world is moving according to Krishna's plan. Nothing happens without Krishna's will. Fool's mentality is that they say there's no plan behind the creation and all are accidental. The sun rises, the moon sets, all this is accident, they say. The creation happened because of an accident, an explosion, the Big Bang theory. It's all fool's mentality. The scientists say perhaps, maybe this happened, maybe this happened. So Prabhupada's like, there's no maybe in the Shastra. When one thing I remember, when Prabhupada said there is 84 lakh species, it's perfect 84 lakhs. Nothing 1 or 2 that side, this side, plus or minus, nothing like that. Scientists will put plus or minus, but then Shastra don't have to put plus or minus there. So I was amazed by that. It says Chatur Lakshani Manava. When they say 4 lakh human species, there's 4 lakh only, not 4 lakh and 1. No, not 3 lakh and 999. No, It's just 4 lakh, correct 4 lakh. So Prabhupada's like, how are they able to say, because that's written by Vedavyas, that's Shastra. Right? It is written by Lord himself. Vedavyas is Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas, is a literal incarnation of the Lord. So how can that be wrong? Yeah? So this is all Krishna's plan. So Lord's plan is, the purport says, the whole world is moving according to Krishna's plan. Foolish people do not have sufficient knowledge and they think that the nature is moving without a plan and all manifestations are accidental. There are so many so-called scientists who suggest that perhaps it's like this, maybe, and all that. This cosmic manifestation, they say that's a chance for conditioned soul. It's actually a chance for us to go back to Godhead, back to home. As long as they have domineering mentality, which makes them try to load it over material nature, they are conditioned. But anyone who can understand the plan of the Supreme Lord and cultivate Krishna consciousness is most intelligent. The creation and destruction of cosmic manifestation are under the supreme guidance of the God. So Arjuna is motivated to fight in accordance with the desire. So till now, Arjuna is thinking about his sense gratification. Oh, if I fight my cousins, this. Now he's like, oh, Krishna want me to fight. I mean, this is Krishna's plan. Let me do it. Now he's thinking about in Krishna consciousness. So he's acting according to the desire of the Lord. And this is the path of real happiness and real perfection. So one lesson is, we don't have to say what our family is saying or what our relatives and friends are saying. You do Krishna consciousness because that's what Krishna wants. Now, Krishna wants us to go back to him. Sarvadharma Parityaja. That's what Krishna recommended. Others, so we should not act for sense credit. We should try to please Krishna. So here again, Krishna wants to give credit to his devotees who carry out his plan, right? Krishna is doing it. Now, Krishna can show everyone that he is killing, no? Why Krishna is telling Arjuna, you do? Because he wants to give credit to his devotees, right? Like, for example, Lord Ramchandra could have, if Hanuman can fly across to Lanka, can Lord Ramchandra do it? But he was making the Sedu Bandhan, the bridge. Why? He's giving credit to his devotees, Hanuman and all the monkeys. He's giving credit that they are doing that service. So it's how Krishna does. Krishna is actually doing it. Prabhupada knows that when the ISKCON became so popular and so famous, Prabhupada's like, Prabhupada never mentioned he did it. Prabhupada's like, Krishna is helping, or actually his Guru Maharaj is doing. And that's what Prabhupada always says, right? Guru Maharaj have sent all my disciples, or Krishna is actually helping. So it's actually, we are just an instrument. Krishna is actually doing. He was told to fight and be victorious to the kingdom. Why? Because Krishna desired the battle. Hinting that, no, my plan, I have already killed them. So we have to perform our duty by not being disturbed. And Jita Asi means you are becoming victorious. Jita. Get the credit of being my instrument. So we have to, Prabhupada writes in the purport, we have to modify life to understand and follow the plan of the Lord. Every plan is made by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But he is so kind and merciful to his devotees that he don't want to give the credit. He want to give the credit to his devotees who carry out his plan according to his desire. Life should therefore move in such a way that everyone acts in Krishna consciousness and understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the medium of a spiritual master. The plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are understood by his mercy, and the plan of the devotees are as good as his plans. One should follow such plans and be victorious in the struggle for existence. So when Prabhupada plans something, when Guru Maharaj plans something in our life, that's so good as Krishna plans. So we should just move according to Krishna's desire. So it is said, every plan is made by the Lord. Okay. Okay, I think we can have this as an activity for like 5-10 minutes, then we can wind up. You can discuss becoming Krishna's instrument in connection to Arjuna's situation on the battlefield, and discuss an incident in your personal experience where you became a Krishna's instrument. Okay, it's like a personal application. You got the question? How becoming Krishna's instrument in connection to, discuss becoming Krishna's instrument connection to Arjuna's situation on the battlefield. You understand that. And the main question is, discuss any incident or personal experience where you became a Krishna's instrument. So it's a personal application, like all of you can share in the class, and then you can come and just put in the chat. Okay, your personal experience of becoming Krishna's instrument. 5 minutes will be good. You just have to share that, your experience. Hare Krishna. All are back. Some are back. Oh, Chinnasamy Ganeshan Prabhu is from 2 devices. That's why one device didn't join the breakout room. Okay, no problem. Okay, so we'll have a quick discussion. Who's going first? Hare Krishna. Yes, Ganeshan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So you are absolutely blank. In fact, to be very honest, you are not getting anything. No? And personal experience. Can the service that is being done here can be said as I am just a mere instrument and Krishna is. Can that be put as an experience, madam? Can that be put as an exam?
Yes, yes.
What do you say? Can it be referred? So because it was all. What is being understood is no, that is whatever service is being done. No, I am just a mere instrument, and Krishna, in fact, through Acharya, it's only because of Acharya, and he comes before Krishna, and it's because of his mercy, and I am receiving that. I am just acting as a mere instrument and doing whatever is being done. That is what I understand, as far as maximum I could understand, and if at all I can say, then during the Corona time. What happened? No, and again, I would like to say I was very badly infected, and but by that time I understood that I have nothing in my hands. I am just a mere instrument, and I could correlate something like that and say, and nothing is in my hand. No, I remembered that sloka also. Prakriti kriyamanani munai karmani sarvasya ahankara vimud atma, and because the false ego believes that he is the doer of everything, but whereas he is absolutely controlled by the 3 modes of material nature. In fact, the 3 modes of material nature is controlled by the Supreme Lord. And when one attaches to the Supreme Lord and starts to slowly get familiar with it, then he becomes he gives control of his senses to the Supreme Lord, and ultimately the Lord takes over and controls the senses. And these are all the things that came to my mind, and this was the thing that we were discussing. I don't know how much I make sense. Kindly apologize me if I'm not up to the Hare Krishna. This is what.
Yes. Yeah, it's our personal experience, no personal thing. Yes, Madhu Mataji.
Mataji, to be frank, in our medical field only, so many times we operate, we do everything. And the patients we will lose so many times. But when the patient is on pulseless, BP-less, we operate thinking that she will not survive. We think that we have done something, but it's not in our hands. So many times after reading this Bhagavad Gita, so many times I'll be thinking, it's all our, we are instruments, that's all. Whatever is happening will happen. And when we put everything on Krishna and do, 99% we will be very much successful. That is what I feel, Mataji. So many times when they come in shock, we operate, we think that we have done something, but it's nothing. It's only the instrument. He wants the patient to survive and they will survive. We are just instruments, I feel, Mataji. And even when we treat infertility patients, so many times the embryos will be good, everything will be good, but it may not work out unless he desires. The creation will not happen. So that's what I feel, Mataji.
If I was feeling like if somebody doesn't believe in God, we have to take him to an operation theater or maybe to an ICU and make them know, see, whatever medical field, whatever we do, it's everything in Krishna's hands. No, it's he who actually decides. Sometimes we feel that that patient is in ventilator, will go next moment he come out of ventilator. Someone who's very healthy would just go. So it's everything is definitely it's Krishna's hands and just an instrument. And a medical field is the best example to, especially gynecology field, as Mataji said. Yes, I know of a couple who have done like 6-7 times IVF, still failed. And because Krishna is not sending that soul, it's Krishna's, it's not Krishna's will. But then Krishna, has some other plan. So it's all according to him. Yes, we're just an instrument. But sometimes we are proud that, we did that, we did this.
Yes. As Prabhuji quoted the verse, Ahankara Vimudatma Kartaham Niti Manyate. So like we think like that we have done, but it's not. It's
Okay.
yes.
Yes. Anyone else like to tell? We can end in 2 minutes. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
May I,
Krishna.
Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Jyotilakshmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I thought someone else was speaking.
No,
Yeah, I don't like to take credit. But yeah, I would like to say that I am an instrument being super admin for Kannada group. I help people in their level 1 classes to finish their course. So like that's the first thing that comes to mind. I help them in their 18 days journey.
Yes, yes. So Krishna is making you the instrument to bring more souls to him. So definitely. So that's again Krishna's plan. Krishna is empowering someone. If it is said that unless Krishna empowers that person, he can't do anything. Krishna, what is it? Shakti vina nahi hua parivartan. So it's Krishna's hands, everything working out. And we're like, how can this happen? Like, so it's actually he who's actually doing. Sunita Mataji, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna Mataji. 2 months ago, my husband had heart attack, major heart attack. So I got a call from my husband's colleague saying that we are on the way to hospital because he got the chest pain and all. And they said we are on the way. And immediately after half an hour, I got a call from the ICU doctor, and he said, ma'am, you have to tell me in 10 minutes, you have to make a decision whether we have to proceed with the surgery or not, because already he had an MI. So in that critical moment, I was not able to take a decision and make a decision. Then I straight away went to the Lord, and I offered my obeisance, and I touched his feet, and I asked him, please guide me, God. I am not able to take any decision because I am far away from him, 60 kilometers away from him. I'm not able to, because I understand his situation, and I'm not able to take any decision. So please guide me in this critical moment. And whatever the surgeon does there, I'm not able to understand this here sitting here. So it will take a long time to reach me there. So you're in everybody's heart as Paramatma. So please save my husband. Like, all these things I prayed. And after 2 hours, I reached there, and surgery was done, and I was able to make a decision through my Lord. And I said, okay, proceed with the surgery. And after the surgery, when he was shifted to ward after 2 days of observation, and doctor spoke to me, and he said, you're very lucky, because that artery is widowmaker artery, and you're very lucky to be to getting back your husband. And he's also very fortunate because he had 100% occlusion. And it's a miracle, 100% occlusion. He already had a MI, and he was saved. So I asked my husband, what was there in your mind when they were taking you in the ambulance? So he said, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. That was only I was repeating, Name Bhakta Pranashyati, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. And I told him, see, this is the second life you got. Why? Because you had so many spiritual desires, because he wanted to take Diksha and all. So I told him, see, that spiritual desire is still in you. So God has given you the second chance to fulfill all your spiritual desires. So Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yes. So that's what when it comes in our life, we know the Name Bhakta Pranashyati, when Krishna says devotees will never perish. Yes, definitely. It's Krishna's plan. So we just instrument, but to realize that it'll take so many janmas. So yes. Hare Krishna. Yes, Ganeshan Prabhu, we'll wind up with yours.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. There is a true story also, no, Mataji. There is one doctor, very familiar doctor. He was a cardiac surgeon, and there was a very complicated girl. She had some severe heart problem, and there was a very minimum chance of her survival. And during the entry into the operation theater, and she was telling the doctor, my mother used to tell me that God resides inside everyone's heart, and once you operate my heart, when you see him, you tell him and you ask him. And she was telling something. I don't remember exactly what she told and all. And the doctor did not believe. He's like an atheist, and he never had the belief on God and all. And what happened? No, the surgery went on because they were all very clear, because the chances of survival of the girl was absolutely not possible, and that was their conclusion. And after the surgery, then there was a straight line, and there was no more. And they thought, okay, it's over. And suddenly, the doctor who was the assistants who were along with him, they said, no, doctor, the blood is pumping in, flowing through, and the heart is again starting to function and all. No, he was really surprised, because he could not believe it at all, because there is no possibility. How could this happen? That question came to him, and everything was over, and the girl got back to her consciousness. And the first question she asked the doctor was, did you see God inside my heart? And he told, yes, I saw.
Yes,
And
definitely.
that was, and after that he became a great devotee and something like that. I read somewhere, so I just thought of sharing it now, as you all doctors were discussing about it. Thank you so much.
Anyone.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, very well. So that's what it say, that we should not try to see the lotus feet of Krishna. We should see the hand of Krishna. In every walk of our life, we should see Krishna's hand. Like, I mean, he's there. He's there. Some thing happens that he's always there, holding us when we are falling, and always with us. And that's what it's like. We should try to see Krishna's hand in everywhere. So yes, that girl's thing is so nice, my Prabhu. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. Might be next class we can complete chapter 11. And once we do chapter 12, then we'll have a closed book exam. So please start memorizing the slokas and prepare the closed book questions. Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpadrupascha kripasindhivebhyo patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Vaishnava ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare